There are more than 3 billion cameras in the world, in people's pocket, and that's really transforming the world of imaging and visual computing. And in my group at MIT Media Lab, we are developing technologies that convert phones into scientific and medical diagnostic instruments. We are creating cameras that can run at 1 trillion frames per second, and with that, we can even build cameras that can look around corners. And we're also building glasses-free 3D displays. But when you take all these technologies and complications, you realize that in various dimensions of imaging, over the next 10 or 20 years, we'll see some radical innovation. In our group, we are looking at a new types of photography, femto photography, which can see the world at 1 trillion frames per second, fast enough to see light in motion. If you send a packet of photons into this bottle, we can slow down the time so that you can watch light in slow motion. The light propagates through this bottle. You see the energy propagating on the table. There's a packet of air at the top of the bottle, and the light is bouncing around there. Meanwhile, the energy fronts are propagating as if it's a stone thrown in a pond of water. With this new type of imaging, clearly we can go in some interesting directions. So we have built a camera, as I said, that can look around corners, and the principle for that is to shine light on visible surfaces that reflects into hidden parts, comes back to the visible surface, and back to the camera. And by analyzing these multiple bounces of light, you can create 3D shapes of what's around the corner. And it's not just science fiction. We have built the solution in our lab and have very good initial results. And in the future, we might be able to build cars that can avoid collision with what's around the bend. And for health, we might be able to use endoscopes that can see inside our body without harmful wavelengths of light. So some really exciting directions coming up if you start using this amazing new technology of femto photography. Let's talk again about harmful radiation. And we're going to stay with that for some time because it's quite useful. And I was getting a CT scan, and I heard some rattling sounds in the machine. If you go online and search for just open CT scan, you'll see videos that look like this. And now just imagine your head inside this jet engine. So this is how ridiculous this technology is. And when they release a new generation of CAT scan machine, it just spins faster. And we need to stop this kind of innovation in health diagnostics. It turns out you can combine some ideas from astronomy of looking at faint stars that have very low signal-to-noise ratios, and we can combine the ideas to create highly portable solutions. So what we have demonstrated in our lab is a prototype towards a highly portable CAT scan machine, which has no mechanically moving parts and no synchronization. In the future, it might be as simple as a headband or a wristband or a chest band, and that just computes and analyzes what's happening inside your body. And we think about diagnostic instruments, we have a long way to go to make them democratized, where we'll have anybody in the world can have access to them. Here's a slit lamp that's used for scanning for cataract. A complicated machine requires an expert. Here is a device for doing retinal scans. Very expensive machine, $250,000. Check out the user interface. The nurse has to shove my head to align with the eyepiece, and to get eyeglasses, you're lost in a phoropter. And if you think about how we're going to take these technologies worldwide, clearly we can't expect people in remote parts of the world to come to the hospitals and clinics that have technologies like this. We have to take the technologies to them. We have to take the clinic to them. So millions of people are suffering worldwide just because we don't have good diagnostic tools. So we have created a new tool called Netra, which is a snap-on eyepiece that goes on top of a cell phone. You look through it, click on a few buttons. When the patterns are aligned, you hit calculate, gives you data for prescription of your eyeglasses. Nearsightedness, farsightedness, and astigmatism, it's just a piece of plastic. You can make it just for a few pounds, and the results are more accurate than a typical autorefractor. And as a bonus, you also can scan for cataracts. And we can do these tests during the break afterwards. And when you talk about something as simple as eyeglasses, there are two pieces to the puzzle. And as we heard earlier, the dissemination has become extremely cheap, but the diagnostics is still extremely expensive. And if you look at some really high-end solutions like a Shark-Hartman wavefront sensor that you would use before LASIK surgery, we can take the same technology and implement that now on a mobile phone. So we're replacing the laser with the screen of the LCD, and we're replacing the sensors with your user interaction. And very recently, we have also moved from refraction and cataract to retinal imaging. And David Rowan and his team at Wired UK just published some work on my group and other teams at the MIT Media Lab. So there's some exciting directions in how we can take really complicated procedures of imaging and diagnostics to highly portable platforms. And it's not just about diagnostics and blurry vision. Children don't go to school because they cannot see. They remain illiterate. Grown-ups cannot do their job. They remain unemployed. That leads to poverty. And sometimes you just want to watch Ronaldinho, kick that goal in soccer in high definition on TV. So it's a huge socioeconomic problem that we can address with just $2 or $3 of glasses that can be distributed. There are more than 2.4 billion people in the world who need glasses and don't wear them, and there are about 500 million people in the world who don't wear glasses, and that makes them legally blind. It's an amazing statistics, and all we need is a few dollars of glasses to disseminate to them. So we got amazing response for our technology for Netra, and this has really made me think about what we are doing here. We all know about app stores on mobile phones, and we download apps, but I think we're entering a new era of so-called hardware app stores where we might have 1 or 2 pounds of snap-ons that mate with your phone, and they attach chemically, electronically, mechanically, optically, whatever you like, and they completely transform the functionality of your device. And so this hardware app store is going to unleash the long-tail effect of developers, users, policymakers, government agencies, and so on, because now we're going to move that amazingly successful software model into a hardware world. And it's not just for health, of course, it's for education and productivity and agriculture and pick your favorite domain there. And this is all becoming possible because of technology that's being crammed into mobile phones, some amazing input and output devices. For example, if you just look at the resolution of the screen now, it's going down to about 25 micrometers, the pixel size. And why is that happening? Because all of you want to watch your favorite episodes of TV shows and sports. Right now it's 480p. So very soon it'll be 720p, and after that it'll be full resolution in 1080p. So please go and watch more of HD content so that more cell phone makers will create these amazing devices that we can use as medical instruments in remote parts of the world. So with Netra, we have collaborated with, we have spun this out as a venture, and we are collaborating with various partners, starting with Mexico and India. And what we have realized is that we can really take designers and NGOs and government agencies and hospitals and technologists and ophthalmologists and optometrists to take this solution in really interesting ways. So I encourage all of you to think of this really as a new opportunity, as a hardware app store to take solutions in parts of the world that would otherwise never see a high-quality diagnostic instrument. So that's our venture called iNitra.com, and it's up and running, and we really want to take glasses to the masses. And when we saw this woman just outside Hyderabad in India, we were quite amazed. This woman has invented a new business based on a technology called a weighing scale. And she's very proud of how she welcomes her customers as well. And this picture reminds us that if we invent great technologies, there are amazing entrepreneurs that are out there. Some of you right in this room, and some of them we don't even traditionally call entrepreneurs, who can take that technology, you can take that idea, take those business models, and scale them in unimaginable ways. And that's what I'm excited about. Thank you.